Hello, viewers. Welcome to Book Reviews by Vikram on Sip and Talk with Vikram. What is your perfect way of spending a sunny afternoon? My way is to sit with a stack of books and a hot mug of coffee. So, I'm going to talk about a book which I have read recently. And before that, I want to hear from you. Have you watched my previous book reviews so far? And if you did, please type in how did you like them. And those who are watching me for the first time, please subscribe, please hit the bell icon, please stay notified. And of course, keep typing in your comments. They encourage me immensely and keep me motivated to bring you more and more new books. So today I'm going to talk about this small romantic novelette. This is called Ecstasy on Mountain, A Long Wait, written by Yudhijit. This is a 93 pages book and it is priced at 120 rupees. That's all. So you can read this at a go, and it contains a beautiful story spun around the beautiful locales of the Northeast India and Bhutan. So here we come to this book, Ecstasy on the Mountain. Chapter 1 is Lucy's story. Lucy Lawson is an Australian. She's a psychologist working for an international NGO at Canberra. She travels all around the world to gather experiences and data about people in different cultures. So, on one such visit, she's visiting Bhutan right now in this story. And as she checks into a hotel in Bhutan, she is just resting on a couch and reflecting her memories in the past. She starts thinking about her parents. They are from two different races and cultures, and she goes on to even remembering further, and the entire novelette is spun around a flashback of her memories sitting right there in Bhutan. The author also pens down a poem to describe her beauty. So as we go further to the next chapter, it is called Shillong, the Scotland of the East. So Lucy's memory take her 3 years back. 3 years back, she was at Shillong during her first visit to the Northeast India, and there she had met a guy called Vivek. Now this guy, Vivek, was a local out there, and Lucy interacted with him, and of course he describes the beautiful locales of Shillong, the various places that are worth visiting over there, and that is why it is called Scotland of the East. So now we move on to the next chapter, which is Vivek's story. I hope you are loving this love story. Oh, romance has not yet begun, but yes, I'm setting the mood for it. So we have set the mood, we have seen the location, and we have read about the beautiful locales of Shillong, and now enters the hero of the story, Vivek. Now, Vivek, in his early student life, he was good at studies, he was studying. So, just like Lucy, he also had parents who were from different cultures. So, his mother was from the Northeast, particularly in a matriarch society where the mother is the head of the family, and his father was a businessman from Kolkata. Now, Kolkata is a big city down in West Bengal, but yes, he had his business in Shillong. That is where they met and they married and they settled down. So Vivek was named as Vivek according to his father's culture, but the rest of the children, his brothers and sisters, they were all named as according to their Northeast cultures. And because of his different name and maybe the mixed looks in the local cultures, he was always treated like an outsider. Just imagine you are in your own place and you are treated like an outsider. So, okay, he overcame all those comments from his peers. He knew that he belongs to this place, his mother belongs to this place, and it is very much a matriarch society. So Vivek was pursuing a management graduation, and the way things were discussed in family, the both parents thought that one day he should take up his father's business, and his mother has no problem with that. With this, we move on to the next chapter, Football, the First Love. Yeah, and it's time for a sip of coffee too. So Vivek's father suddenly dies. Now Vivek had to take the reins of the business, but his first passion was football, and he was all out determined to get a place in the Indian national team. And with all the encouragement of his personal coach Natuda, he was deeply motivated not to give up before he tries for that. So he looked forward to see himself in the national team one day, and for this he had to go to some place out of his own hometown for a 2 months of training and of course the qualifier tests. But here Vivek also has a girlfriend. She's Seema and she's from Kolkata. Kolkata is the soccer city of India. There's nobody who can go to Kolkata and not get infected with the football virus. And this football is in their blood. It is there everywhere in the air. And there are so many teams over there, so many professional clubs over there, and people from all walks of life are totally engaged into that game, totally absorbed and mesmerized. You should see that place when there is a football match. Everything comes to a standstill. So after this description of football, Vivek had to go to training, and the next chapter is called Paradise Shattered. So when Vivek played in Kolkata, he became a celebrity overnight. Why? Because he played for the East Bengal club, which is a prestigious club. And with some initial success in his game, his photographs were published in the newspaper, and that's a big thing. Some rising star, some superstar, and he was getting ready. Yeah, he's the best. Anybody would at that age, isn't it? Tell me, viewers, if you get the initial success and fame, how do you feel? Do you get a bit heady or not? Type in your comments right now. I'd like to know. So, with his initial fame, he was a bit heady, and now he had to go to Patiala to receive some training as well as to qualify in the qualifiers round for selection in the national team. Now, this was a great opportunity of a lifetime. He could give up everything for this, including his girlfriend Seema. And he had to go for 2 months, much to the dislike of Seema, but of course, he had to do what he had to do to get what he wants to get. So, the coach Natuda always felt that Seema is a distraction to Vivek because she would take him out to the movies, she would make him phone calls, she would come and meet him, and they would have late night chats, which will affect his training schedule. So the coach thought that this is some casual indiscipline towards the practice, but of course they were in love, so they were steady about their relationship. But when it came to going to Patiala for 2 months, he had to go. He played well at Patiala, but there also he was considered as an outsider because he was a northeaster. Now, this kind of discrimination with him affected his performance a lot because those people would not give him a chance to exhibit his performance at the game. He even tries to steal a moment and show out something, but then that's it. They don't let him move ahead. And eventually, he could not make it to the team. Now, he's shattered, completely shattered. This was the end of his dreams in his life. How does one feel when one has only one dream, one ambition, and that cannot be fulfilled? Although Natuda, his coach, kept on suggesting that no, you should try once again and you should also not give it up, you should practice more, but he was shattered. So he started ignoring his father's business, his coach, and his girlfriend, and he resorted to various other practices like drinking, solitude. So this kind of feelings that were generating in him were that of a loser. Now tell me, viewers, if one is in such a situation and he should not be a loser, what should he do? Let me hear your advice. Some advice of sanity, one advice from each one of you, will make me think twice again. Now this brings us to the next chapter called The Change of Personality. So Vivek, of course, he was shattered and he decided that he will give up football forever. Now there were two more losers like him. They were Navneet and Aziz. They became his friends. They also had come for the training and the qualifying, but they failed to get into the team. So this trio gets together, goes to Delhi to have some fun. There they are visiting dance bars, you know, alcoholism, gaming, gambling. So all these things were taking up a lot of his time and money and health, and finally he got worse and worse in his condition. So these things can provide you momentary fun, drinking or doing substances. This can provide you some moments of fun, but on a long run, it destroys you completely from inside. And this is what happened to Vivek. He put on weight. He did not look like a charming athlete anymore. And finally, totally shattered and dejected, he goes to Shillong and starts sitting in his father's office because he has no other place to go to. And after a long time, Natuda, his coach, and his girlfriend had a conversation over phone. And the girlfriend came to know that he's back in Shillong and he's not keeping well. So she decides to go and meet him in Shillong. So her father was supportive. They both travel all the way to Shillong. And she just walks into his office. And he was, of course, taken back by surprise. There was a conversation. I mean, why this, why so? But unrelenting, Vivek is still shattered. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn for anybody. For him, life has come to a full stop. So he breaks up with her. Now this girl is heartbroken and shattered. So what she would do? She goes away and eventually she marries somebody. She married somebody from out of this country and she migrated forever. So Vivek was all alone now. No coach, no girlfriend, no football, and that's it. He was sinking down in a deep dark tunnel. But the next chapter is light at the end of the tunnel. Now, in this chapter, the author describes the various gambling activities, the various types of gambling that takes place in the gambling dens. Interesting anecdotes. Read them, but don't follow them. That's my honest advice to you. Read them for fun. You'll know how people do things. And after that, Vivek was in a grip of addiction, and it was by chance that he came across his childhood friend Tony. Now, Tony also had this kind of a situation. He was also addicted, and he went to some rehab program which benefited him. So he thought, why not let me help Vivek? He cajoles Vivek and takes him to that rehab center. And there were group interactions, group meetings. Vivek frequently visited them. They were talking about their problems, how to come around it, how to overcome. And this way, he tried from his own heart within to give up on his addiction. And let me tell you, viewers, unless one tries to give up on his own, nobody, no program, no friend, no relative can help one come out of this. The resolve has to come from within. If you want to give up a vice, the voice has to come from within to give it up. And probably this is what happened with Vivek. And he finally gave up on all this alcohol and substances. And this was a sustained development across 5 years. So he returns to sobriety. He gets into a work like organizing conventions and meetings and seminars. And in one such national convention where he was organizing, he met Lucy Lawson. Now, Lucy Lawson is the heroine we met in the chapter 1, the beautiful Australian girl. So she had come to Northeast in Shillong and she met Vivek. So her beauty casts a spell on him and he gets mesmerized. This is after a long time, 5 years or more, that he has given up on everything in life and finally love is blossoming in his heart once again. So now the real love story begins. This chapter is called The Meeting and Aftermath. So two beautiful souls met over there, and Vivek and his friend Jayant were taking a walk up the hill and Lucy was coming down to the resort, and they met on the way, exchanged greetings, and then they started talking. They sat down somewhere, they talked about themselves, introduced themselves. And in the very first meeting, Vivek went ahead with disclosing everything about himself, including his alcoholism, including his failures at football, including his, how he came around with his addiction. And of course, Lucy was a psychologist, so she was listening very patiently and interestedly. And she was impressed with the truthful straightforwardness of this guy who is telling everything about himself. And then he also offers her to be her guide for a sightseeing tour. Now, Lucy loves to visit places, so what could be more exciting than finding a local guide who could talk nicely, who could behave well, and who could take her around to show places? And here they drive around all beautiful places in Ceylon. And the author has described the beauty of that place, how beautiful it is, why it is called the Scotland of the East. And he talks about different places of tourism, the tourist interest. So if you happen to go there, you have got this description from this book, where to go and what to look for. In this moment, Vivek, with her permission, also takes her to his home. It's a faraway off-road up the hill home, and he introduces her to his mother. His mother hugs them both lovingly and welcomes them very lovingly, which is liked by Lucy very much because she was missing her mother anyway. So, with a sip of coffee, I'll move on to this love story further. Stay tuned with me, don't go away. So, next chapter is hence from Lucy's diary. Or do you write a diary? Some people, I have known my grandfather writing a diary every day. He used to mention what are the good and bad things that happened with him. That was his own way of keeping record of his memories. So Lucy wrote in her diary about her visits to local beautiful tourist spots. They also took a trip to Cherrapunji. Cherrapunji is a place in India which receives the maximum rainfall, but it is still a scarce water place because they have not adopted the ways and means to conserve that rainwater for their future use. There is a vivid description about various places of tourist interest around those hills. And when you read that, you will get motivated to go and visit those places because they are so beautifully described. And there is even a anecdote about some past legendary love story about a girl jumping off the waterfall because she could not fulfill her love. So this kind of stories were told by Vivek, and Lucy was listening with all captivated interest because she was interested in Vivek, she was interested in his stories, and she was interested with the love in the air. With this, we come to the next chapter, which is called Back to Work. Now, Lucy returned back to Sydney to meet her mom Angela, and she started concentrating on her work. She was reading some book about how to balance her rational side with the emotional side, but she was finding it hard to balance because she was always haunted by the memories of her time with Vivek, and she knew that she was in love with him and she needed to go back to him. But all they could do was sometimes catch up on phone call, and on phone call, Vivek made sure that he could convey whatever he felt about Lucy, and Lucy was waiting for an opportunity to go back to him and meet him again. She was always immersed in the thoughts of Vivek, and although here it is not described how Vivek was feeling, but I am sure the feelings must be similar on both sides. So, with this, we come to the last chapter of this book, which is called A Beginning in the End. Now, this story begins as a flashback, as a memoir going back into time in the mind of Lucy in chapter 1. So, like in this last chapter, she comes back into her present in where she was in Bhutan. And there again, she goes around sightseeing with some local tour guides. Of course, she's not interested in that tour guide this time. She's just admiring the beautiful locales of Bhutan. And again, there are beautiful descriptions about the beauty of Bhutan in this chapter. So she goes out and visits places, and she receives and sends text messages to Vivek And in one of the messages, she uh, requests him to come down to Paro in Bhutan, where she was, and let us meet, let us take things forward from here. And he readily accepts it. So he's supposed to come there, and she's supposed to receive him the next day. And that night, while she's sleeping, she has wet dreams about Vivek. And the next morning, when she wakes up, now here is when the climax begins. But the author has specifically requested me not to give it away right here. So it's a small book, a tiny book. Why don't you just pick it up and read it and know the climax yourself? You can find it out. And here is my take for this book. See, I have read many novels, many steamy romantic novels, the big ones, the big fat books. But this is slightly different. Here, it is a total description of beauty about the places, also along with the people. So here he brings out the beautiful feelings of love between two people and also the beauty of the places around them. So when the place is such beautiful and magical, love is bound to happen. And also he talks about cultures, he talks about the passion of football, he talks about the use of substances and alcohol and how to come out of it. So there are a lot of good messages hidden in this story, which you can go through once you are into it. And at the same time, the story is moving at a very interesting pace about a love between two people. So that is why I would recommend you to read this novelette from start to end in one go. And I'm sure you won't regret my recommendation. With this, viewers, I would like to ask you, how did you like my this particular book review? Please type in your comments. I would love to hear from you. Your comments keep me encouraged and motivated. And thank you for your patient listening. Namaste.